I have a bone to pick with MS Dhoni. Yes, for somehow managing to make everything about himself. Chennai loses its first game in the T20 League last night to the Delhi franchise, who won their first game this season. After a horrendous start, Rishabh Pant, the skipper, is truly back now. The batter, who is playing his first international tournament after recovering from a car crash, scored his first half-century. Matisha Patirana for Chennai is a death bowling maverick, and he's just 21. But what are the headlines? What is everyone talking about the morning after? The same thing we are at this moment. MS Dhoni, rolling back the years, giving us his early years vibe. The long hair, the longer sixes, single-hand follow-throughs, and getting down on one knee to whack another one out of the crowd. The crowd at Vizag went berserk, and no one knew what the scoreboard really read. No one cared, except Delhi, of course. They wanted those 2 points, and I can imagine them almost reminding everyone else after that match that, hey, we actually won. Such is the energy, the magic, the charm and the charisma, the legend really of MS Dhoni. He began his career as a long-haired finisher, walking in with swag, with no care to the total, the target, the bowler, the situation or the world, and getting the job done. And somehow, now after decades, is trying to get his loyal, die-hard, passionate fans to picture just that, keep that image in what could be his last season. The final hurrah. Now, I don't know what is more incredulous, the fact that MS Dhoni still manages to amaze all by those swashbuckling hits and his overall demeanor, or that the sea of yellow at the stadium last night kept cheering for one man and by that extension his team, despite Chennai losing, and by a bit of a margin. Now, I'll tell you what is incredulous, the love of the fans that acknowledge his one cameo with so much passion that nothing else really matters. The fact that MS Dhoni is not captain anymore doesn't matter. That's the effect of MS. He's still the leader of the pack, and he remains the biggest draw for any Chennai affair in the league. Everyone knows this, and they acknowledge it. But things are not the same over at another franchise that has had just as much success over the years. That is Mumbai. They have a new leader in Hardik Pandya, someone who has grown in this franchise, who was not retained by this franchise, was picked up to be captain of the Gujarat team, went on to lead them to 2 memorable seasons, 1 win and 1 finalist, only to return to Mumbai and helm affairs instead of Rohit Sharma, and fans are livid. Now, we thought that would have abated as the season started, but it has only gathered momentum. Gujarat booed him first, Hyderabad fans followed, and now the young captain awaits his biggest test in Mumbai at the iconic Wankhede Stadium, a stadium where dreams have been resurrected and shattered. It's strange to see 2 contrasting receptions by cricket fans of 2 different franchises in the same country. One who is forgiving and loving as long as their leader MS Dhoni is around, and no matter he fails, no matter the team fails. And then there is, of course, a set of fans for a franchise that is not as welcoming and forgiving or as patient towards someone who has been in their very ranks till he was let go. Hardik Pandya, of course, has the support of the franchise and his teammates. One of the senior-most players in the squad, Piyush Chawla, spoke of the turnaround just being around the corner.
The way Hardik has taken it, he's just focusing on the game. He's not even worried about what the crowd is doing. And once we get a win under our belt, things will be totally different. Whatever people are doing in the crowd, you can't really help it because it's beyond our control. Whatever they are doing it, let them do. We just have to focus on our cricket.
Not just the Mumbai franchise, one of the seniors from the opposition that Mumbai faces today, Rajasthan, was also all praise for Hardik and spoke of how he will have to shut out all the noise, even though that will be hard.
There are a lot of passionate fans in this country, and speaking of Hardik specifically, he is one of my favorite Indian cricketers, and I do not think the booing will hold out for too long. I'm sure he is one of those guys who can put it aside and focus on the job.
Yes, it won't be easy. Feels like Hardik Pandya has reached towards the end of the rope. A few decisions concerning his own batting position, rotating certain bowlers, have not gone down too well for him and the team. But a lot of the criticism wouldn't have cropped up in the first place had the results gone Mumbai's way. So the only thing Hardik Pandya will be telling himself is to let the bat and ball do all the talking and do what he knows best. Take seniors in the side along, and yes, the fans are not on his side, but Mumbai is just one good result away from turning what is proving to be a horrific year to a bearable one. A change in momentum is all that's required, and once you know how to win, then it becomes a bit of a habit because the season is long. The match coming up against Rajasthan will be an electrifying one, and it will be interesting to see which side will the fans turn into support at Mumbai's home ground.